you so much, Chris. Boston, y'all ready to get this started? Now, the first team coming to the stage, we know how universally certified they are, but can they get a win here in Boston? Let's find out. Get ready, because Atlanta's about to phase up on the stage.
100 racks up in my safe. I've been dreaming of pulling up in that Wraith. Check the stats, I ain't got too much to say. I got Gucci on my belt, but my pants sag. Wouldn't be surprised if my biggest hater made a fan page. You taking orders from your boss, you man-made. Grown at, getting touched up by the handshake. Don't think you hear me right, let me clear my throat. 100 racks up in my safe. I've been dreaming of pulling up in that Wraith. Check the stats, I ain't got too much to say.
Boston, you ain't got to cheer, but get loud for Atlanta FaZe! We got the man himself, Slasher, aBeZy, Simp, and Cellium, Atlanta FaZe!
The Atlanta FaZe, a team no shy to playing the villain, now here once again on the other side of the crowd's applause. A team that even at their worst, they are a top 3 squad, and they're looking to upset here in round 1, but they gotta go through a green. Bring them out, Blaze.
Aly, I couldn't have said it better. The villains are here on the stage, but now it's the time we've all been waiting for. Boston, get up on your feet, because it's time to bring out the home team.
You've waited patiently for this moment. An event in our home city. But it's not our first year anymore. Let's crank things up a notch.
It's lead change. What an unbelievable hardpoint Methodz. On the flank, it's 2 of P1. Nero gets 3 to 9. Can he defend? Oh my Boston, what a round! And his tags from Owakening as he is steamrolled. 23 and 8.
Boston, it's time.
The time is now! Give it up for the Boston Bridge! We got the man himself! It's Nero! Owakening! Methodz! And Vivid! The hometown team is here! Boston, get loud! Wait, what's up with the transmission? Boston, one more time! Get loud for your Boston Bridge!
Up against some of the best in the game in Atlanta FaZe, with the Boston Breach with the crowd behind them. Guy plays. Can they perform the upset?
That's the question. Can they get it done? Boston, y'all ready to go? It's time to get this series started. Your casters, it's Miles and Chance.
Wow, hometown heroes indeed, Chance. We're ready to rock and roll in our Winners Bracket 1 matchup, and I tell you what, that was a lot of fun.
That was a great deal of fun, just looking at the 4 guys at mass. I'm going through, the heights almost lined up, and I was like, hold on, Owakening is definitely not in the mix. mix. So they got some tricks up their sleeve. Maybe we'll see if they bring it out in this series as well, because we do have some interesting maps in the mix. I think Boston might have set themselves up for a bit of a tough time.
Have a look at the maps and modes in a moment, but for now, an exciting start to the tournament here in Boston. The weather hasn't quite kicked in yet, but things are already icy on the stage. Of course, Røkkr, big win for them up first. Do we have space for another upset chance? Now, a fun one for me, Breach and FaZe, two teams coming in this very, very strong. Boston looking a little stronger, I think, so far, but FaZe are no pushover.
I mean, that's my question. What's the upset? Actually, Boston have been stronger throughout the stage. They've looked like at least the slightly more dominant team, admittedly incredibly close, incredibly comparable, but they have the higher seed coming into this one, so we'll see if they get good use out of it. And I would definitely say for Boston, if I'm looking at this series, I just want anything other than a Game 5. I want the domination early. I want the series done quick.
I wouldn't be too surprised. The fans want that as well. A lot of fun so far here in this tournament as our players get ready on stage, and man, it's been crazy hearing the fans here in Boston. It was kind of quiet when New York was playing. I don't think there's any love there for the New York team in this part of the States, but here's the stats coming into this one. Is our season record so far. Still very early days here in Modern Warfare 2 chance.
And the two biggest things that stand out for me is Boston legitimately has an edge in the hard point. Admittedly not a crazy one, but that S&D record for Boston does not tell the entire story. They are 0-5 in Game 5s, 8-3 in the map too. So again, this team is very capable when they get off to a strong start of winning these series. They just do not like the distance. And obviously for Atlanta FaZe, how many Game 5s have they had throughout stage 2? They've basically made that their home, their playground, and even guys like aBeZy, the First Blood King, really seems like he's starting to hit that form rather. So again, if I'm Boston, I'm avoiding that at all costs.
Well, the craziest thing, you're talking about aBeZy being the First Blood Master, Simp, like how close behind him is he? Well,
that's the funny thing, aBeZy, I think he's like 23-15 in those opening engagements, so he lives to be the first one to get the kill or the first one to die. Simp though, 15-5 on those opening duels. So if it's Simp getting the mix, I mean, his statistically, his record is even better. So the tears and search and destroy have really started to crank things up.
Two teams in fine form coming into this winner bracket matchup. Excited to see how this one goes down. A little nervy, I think, in the crowd for a lot of those Boston fans.
And I would say if you got the tears on one side, Vivid and Nero on the flip side have been like the absolute force in the units for this team throughout stage 2. Even in the matchup that these guys played, Atlanta FaZe was their first series of the year. That was the first look at this team, and Boston Breach took it to them. Running back, if they can do it once, they can do it again. But these SMGs all across the board, they need to be at their very best.
Here we go. Gearing up for map number 1, Greenberg Hotel Hardpoint to start the series off. And it is going to be a bloodbath, a real contest between these two teams. An early dip for the New York Subliners to the lower bracket. No one wants to join them. Again, one of the most incredibly closely contested tournaments we have seen in CDL history. We'll find out who walks away with it all on Sunday, but until then, strap in, kids. It's going to be crazy.
And I am so excited to see Owakening in full health playing with this team. Obviously the biggest reason in their mind where there was a bit of a falter at this last tournament, but you come back full speed ahead, ready to go, and I think Fortress is going to be the place to go. So again, that's why the SMGs are going to matter that much more. You need them to perform, you need them to run the show, and for Boston, it's also about trying to breach these initial spawns, have a clean break, and never get started on the back foot.
I see what you did there, brother. Here we go, ladies and gents. Map number 1. Let's start things off here. Boston Breach, Atlanta FaZe. We go to Fortress to kick things off. Let's get it.
And you got Owakening breaking out on the right side of the map by himself. Everybody else trying to pierce through mid. Opening salvo can mean so much and can set the stage for it. Nero already jumping on it. Has a little flank, and hey, if you get someone out, you're already feeling good.
Getting a couple of shots into Slasher as well. Good map awareness currently from Boston. Nice opener there from Nero. 2 kills and a hard point, all his.
And you got number 2, Methodz is out as well. So Boston, they have coverage all over the map right now. They flipped the spawns already. This is as good as it gets.
It could get better though. It could be a force spree for Awakening right here. And Simp is on the hunt, looking around for him. Cellium on the inside of Fortress now. Demon Joe haunting the halls. Can he catch any more? Well, his teammates, they've lost the battle for the point. Here comes Slasher. It's 4 now. for Awakening.
Yeah, he's got to back up, though. That's the 4 spree. Lucky for him, Nero still spawns in the back, so his teammates are set up towards P2.
Whoa.
Simp there to shut him down, and these fights for the back are incredibly important. Vivid, though, lines them up there to try to take him down, eventually connects with the second, and Methodz in the hill is winning the fight as well.
Wait a minute. Nero straight on the point. That was the most important gunfight to win right there. You got full hard point control now for Boston Breach. Eyes on the minimap. Here comes the counterattack from FaZe. But wait, Nero, a good defense is a great offense.
Dude, those are beautiful tags as well. Getting out of dodge, playing smart, and with the gunny. 2 different players, aBeZy and Cell, yet to find their first kill. You finally get on board, but does it make a difference? Boston starting their game off right.
All right, Nero, 5-1. Another one there would have been absurd. Great coverage from the ARs of Boston Breach. Even
Number
hardpoint
3,
safe.
by the way, they're trying to chain this into new. Talk about really setting the scene. Simp caught unaware, caught off guard. And if you can transition this to new hill, Awakening is trying to put in absolute work.
Slash is up next. He gets them all. The whole team for Demon Joe.
Awakening versus the world, and he's coming up with a dub, but now his teammates got to pick up the scraps. Methodz with a nice little turnaround kill. aBeZy, the next one in line to fall. This is a 65-6 game right now. Breach are playing perfect.
And this is a surprise, no matter what way you look at it. Breach full control of this hard point. A tough one though, Chance. You can get trapped here. This is a huge lead though from Boston Breach. Even if they get trapped in this hard point, they're still sitting pretty.
Yeah, who cares about the trap? Just go collect this time. Someone do your job. Stand on the point. Next one in line, just grab that time. Slide on over and make it happen. Cellium's in a pinch. Vivid looking to pounce. And Cell should just get traded. Methodz there to catch him. And this is every single hill, as good as it gets. And it's not just Awakening that's popping off. Methodz, he just got the cruise.
And they got the cruise. You got spawns now. Left-hand side of the minimap, Boston Breach. They got a free ticket out of there. It's a big win from Simp. 15 seconds you sorely need. But looking at that minimap, that's going to be the battle now. Vivid, unfortunately, cut down unaware. This could be a moment for FaZe.
This is the moment right now for FaZe to try to get back in the game, but that is not the start they wanted to have. aBeZy's going to have to tuck himself and play in the corner. This is the last man. I don't know if Boston have counted. aBeZy in this moment going to be the guy to make the play. He's made his strike, trying to break the setup by himself.
Got to be special stuff from here on out for Atlanta FaZe. They want to get themselves back into this game. And quickly, Nero once again, big kills, Vivid 2. Nero again joins him in the feed. Boston Breach dominate early on.
I mean, how good is that? aBeZy with the opportunity to deliver for his team. Can't get the spawns, can't get the time, can't get any clearance to actually move towards the point. Boston Breach, they are piecing up Atlanta FaZe.
Smooth sailing, quite literally. Here comes Slasher though, trying to get his boys back into the fight. 105 points now crossed from Boston Breach. They have turned up in a magnificent way. FaZe still 20 seconds on this hard point. They need it.
And this is a fight for 2 different things. You also see how far back both Cellium and Slasher are looking towards those spawns. They're trying to get the left side. But, I mean, Boston, they started on the unpreferred side right from P1, and they've turned this into a gargantuan lead. I think for Atlanta FaZe, their only hope of getting back in is setting up the spawn trap, and so far, that's the start they have.
Perfect from FaZe. Slow and steady. Nothing crazy. You just build them up, kill by kill, hill by hill, and into the point we now go once again. The Blacksmith Hill, a tough one to hold on to. Simp now battles his way out of the negative KD, and still though, it's Breach with the time.
And he's just trying to stay alive because you got aBeZy doing the flanks, and that's actually locking down the quote unpreferred spawns for his team. That's a nice little piece of the ARs for Atlanta FaZe showing up, but showing up is one thing, getting up to make the break is another. 30 seconds left on this hill. Vivid looking to take it.
Again, it's slow and steady. Slasher climbing his way forward. A 4 spree from him. 17 and 13, trying to get his boys into the hill. Those submachine guns of FaZe, deadly if you can get them going. But right now, Breach, they have gotten to pump the brakes, and Simp, whoa, takes care of business on the point.
And you got spawns all over the map now. Nero, the only one that is even potential to be behind enemy lines. He's able to pick up one. aBeZy there looking to shut him down, but Nero now the thorn in their side is finally Atlanta FaZe. Some semblance of control in the map, trying to make it happen, but also still trying to find Nero.
Nero is so hard to deal with. Another kill for Nero. It's a 3 spree, 16 and 10 overall. Here comes the investment from Methodz. That kill streak garnered very early on. Will it catch most? Slasher safe there. Trophy takes care of Nero, unfortunately, so that's some time for FaZe.
And that is the worst streak use possible, too, because Simp actually gets the kill and clears out the left side of the map. So this is a 113 to 80-point game right now. Atlanta FaZe have already been working on a comeback. If you can chain it here, you're great, but Nero Spawn picks up 2, trying to do everything for his team to get him out.
He is unkillable right now, and it's helping the boys now get back into the point. The drought has ended. Breach are back into the hard point. FaZe have done an exceptional job of keeping this game manageable for themselves after that rough start, but here we go. Rotations are on, and it's Cellium in position.
Oh, he can snake his ass off, too. He is ready for the first. Vivid's still in the back, and the stun doesn't connect, but Cell's going to be able to check everything in this moment, hit him with the bob and weave, and he's got some reinforcements as well. So Cellium doing a nice job of staying alive, but as soon as the hill pops, it's his teammate that takes him down.
aBeZy, though, trying to stay alive. That's a great bit of work. Boston have now flipped this over. Hardpoint, all theirs now. Can they take on the attack now from FaZe? Eyes are up. Vivid finding kills. Slasher on the flank. Slow and steady once again, getting themselves towards that point. It's an open field for now. Who's going to get it?
And this is just a straight-up 50-50 fight for this hill time now. The trophy, though, was the advantage for Boston, but the gunny advantage for Atlanta FaZe. Talk about Slasher doing everything he can to keep his team afloat. They have clawed their way back in this game, and aBeZy, who at one point was like -10, has also been climbing his way up in the kills department. For how good of a start this game was for Boston, Atlanta FaZe have done a wonderful job of catching back up. And also, a lot of time to try to lock down this rotation. 15 seconds. Atlanta, for the moment, is going to be a 3 versus 2.
This is a 3v2 here over by the point. Here comes Cellium on the right-hand side. aBeZy there, taking care of business up top. Last man on the point is going to be Methodz. Can he take care of aBeZy? He gets it! That's a big win. Let's go for a listen in. Boston Breach.
Say no.
You're going far, too far.
No, yo, one is going gate.
Okay,
Yeah, last year front. I got kill. I got both there. Nice. Get behind. It's 20 open. Okay. I'm putting my left right now. They're gonna be open. Okay. Top maps right now. They might spawn there. Top maps. I don't have top maps right now. I'm trying to watch both. They're gonna be one maps. I'm watching Simp. Alright, one is P1. You're looking for Simp. I'm watching gate. He's bench right now.
I'm going maps. What's front?
He's that front shell. Top maps. Okay, trap. Missing one, right? Where are you guys at?
No, busy.
Busy. He's back. He's really defensive. Back 2 stairs. Going noisy. Damn. Nice. Going for cell. 2 ARs.
One's it open?
Yeah, I'm holding stage. P1. Watch my back, right? Give me the back, right? Watch my P1 cross,
Yeah, I can cross.
I have dub hop. I can kill up bottom art as well.
There's no way.
I think single jump. Once closed to top maps. Dub. 100% dub.
I need single.
Top maps.
Top here.
Yo, one is open. Mace's jump. And one's going single. There's a bottom. I think last one left. Open one shot. He's front hay. Austin's front hay, guys. aBeZy one shot open.
Who's in the back? Go in the back. To the back. Top 3.
That's one open. I'm gonna go.
Flash pop up. Flash pop up, guys. That's one close.
Cool comms from Boston. They keep things under wraps while FaZe still apply the pressure.
I mean, Boston right there just trying to keep things consistent and really just keep up the slaying prowess. You have Nero, who has been electric, while you have Owakening 29 and 20. Trying to lead the show. Simp's there to shut him down, but you expect the trades to come through. Maybe just eventually, as Simp right now causing a lot of problems, collecting the final bit of scrap, but that is so many arrows on the left side of the map. This is all about control right now.
Closing the gap right now for FaZe. The race is not over just yet, as they are right back in this one. Can we get over to the blacksmith now? Far more preferable for Boston Breach the first go around. Now here in the second set. Let's see how things go. Boston with the time, clearing up the streets. Going to be Methodz. Big shots on a Slasher. His teammates in the feed now. FaZe, their attack has mostly been stopped. A big win from aBeZy. Can Zinni get into the fight? Can he get FaZe off the point alone? The answer is now, yeah.
I mean, just big wins. This is Boston just trying to keep control again. Even just those left side spawns. Breach have just had at least 1 or 2 players live on this side of the map. They're just trying to keep Atlanta FaZe contained, and obviously keeping them contained is not an easy ordeal because this is only a 10-point game.
Oh, smooth moves out of Slasher, stays alive. You're looking at the lead change if FaZe can hold on to this one. Rotations down. Boston Breach, no, this is a serious turnaround moment for them. The momentum from the start of the game starting to dwindle.
I just can't believe that Atlanta FaZe, for the first time this entire time, now have the lead. 2 players have made it into bottom green as well, so Owakening has players underneath them. Got to make sure you're keeping them contained. I think Owakening knows it, but this is a very tight setup on the bottom of the map. A delicate moment for Breach.
Strong looking P1. Here comes Vivid on the 5 spree. Can't get any more. His teammates are clearing house. Can he get aBeZy off the point and get himself a cruise? Big wins. Does a chow my! That was Simp. Takes care of business. One more here. Slasher wins it mid-map wide open.
Hey, look at number 8 though. Someone for Atlanta FaZe either spawned up or was able to get out. So this is Cellium. Needs to stay alive and get the kills for his team. And Methodz is there to chop him down. You don't even have to read the spawns at this point. You have locked down P1. Boston Breach might have just done enough.
Huge amount of time garnered from P1 there. That is sensational. And Vivid does have the cruise to play with now. Keep FaZe trapped on this side of the map. That's the game plan. You can't win it here. You have to go to P2. And FaZe know that. They're fighting forward. Nero gets dropped. Numbers now working out for FaZe, but the spawns for Breach.
Right, they've barely been able to get out. So Atlanta FaZe were looking for a lifeline, and they have just bought a very small one. Simp though chopped down, and Vivid still has the cruise. The battle on the point. Nero's got the cuts. Boston Breach can win this here.
Vivid and Nero holding the back line down. Slash opens up a window, finds his way in. You gotta go now, FaZe. 10 seconds for the win. Boston holding the line. Here comes Cellium, taken care of. Nero gets 2. That is it. That's game. Throw in the towel. Boston Breach have done it. What an opener to the series. They take the first hard point, no problem.
Boston Breach, who want nothing more than to get this series done early, started it off perfectly. And we saw how close that game ended up developing. If you do not have the perfect opening break, if you don't have the perfect rotation of P2, and if Owakening literally does not 1v4 Atlanta FaZe on that third rotation, I mean, literally, talk about the play of the game. Big Wake set the tone early and just enough to hold on the pressure that Atlanta FaZe started to put on. But Owakening Nero, that duo, they were just taking turns being the kill leaders of the lobby. Absolute showcase performance just from the Slay.
4,000 damage plus there from Owakening. Giga Wake this early on in the tournament, chance. We don't often see it, but Boston have come out swinging.
And speaking of things we don't often see, 18 and 30 from Cellium. Your MVP from Vanguard. I mean, this dude has 1 negative series per year, maybe 2 or 3 negative maps over the course of a year, and that is one of the tougher ones he has seen so far. But these plays early on, highlight reel for a reason. Awakening, literally every single player of Atlanta FaZe sprinting into death. They simply could not handle them, and again, that is the setup for a massive lead early on that was necessary for Breach to get the win.
FaZe had to do such a huge, perfect amount of work just to get the comeback on there, let alone take the lead halfway through that game their chance. So still a ton of fight left in those Red Devils on the right-hand side of the stage. We'll see, though, if they can keep things going in the Search and Destroy, which has been a bit of a mixed game mode for both teams.
Well, we're going to take a look at how mixed that's going to be for the map, too. But even just to touch on across the board for Breach, obviously Awakening Nero lighting up the entire time, but it was the other two, Methodz and Vivid, who, like, because they had so much pressure on the map from their teammates, able to get cruises at different portions of the map and go on those streaks. So just a very well-rounded game. Breach taking care of business, but as you pointed out, mixy for the map, too. Boston Breach, more confident than I am. They let Embassy Search and Destroy get through in this series, where Atlanta FaZe, a perfect 6-0, and it's not like they're squeaking by with round 11 wins. They have been dominating teams. They've won, I think it's literally like 78% of the rounds. I mean, godlike numbers, statistically significant because they've played it 6 times, and they're also playing it against some of the best teams in the game. Atlanta FaZe have been straight up different on this map. So, I don't know, Boston had to have let it through for a reason.
Hey, Boston coming in with that BDE today, ladies and gentlemen. Those bold, daring engagements in the map picks. And shout out to the coaching staff for making that one. How are we doing, Boston? You look good, and we're close enough. We can smell you. You smell fantastic as well. What an incredible day of games we've had already, and now Embassy Search and Destroy. A ballsy pick from Boston Breach. We'll see if it pays off for them. FaZe chance very strong on this one. You have to be leaning towards their success.
Yeah, without question. If you're an Atlanta FaZe fan, you love watching them on this map. Again, it's not just like aBeZy's first bloods, but Simp is in the same vein of like the Tears absolutely run the show. His stats completely absurd. I mean, again, they played it 6 times and he has a 1.7 KD. That is absolutely bonkers. And aBeZy is one of the sole players like across the year that barely averages above like a 0.2 first bloods per round. And that's like the best in the game. He's nearly doubled that up on this map. So I cannot possibly express how absurd those numbers are. And even though he's fallen down to 5th for only winning 3 out of his 4 opening duels, Simp is even better. I mean, again, 15 and 5 across the board. So those two on this map, disturbingly good. And I know Boston, like a major theme from stage 1 to stage 2, it's been their map pool for search and destroy. It was Outback or Fortress early on that was really the only map they could play. They've expanded. They've shown good stuff on a map like aBeZy. I just don't know if it's going to be enough, but maybe the man on your screen, Vivid, can be that guy. Loves to pull out the sniper, can absolutely make an impact.
We've seen a lot of shenanigans early on here in aBeZy since MW2 has dropped, and expect to see plenty more in this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, map number 2. FaZe looking for the bounce back. Here on aBeZy Search and Destroy, we'll see if they've got it in them. Or can the hometown heroes Boston Breach push the series forward 2-0? Let's find out.
And again, I mean, 70% first blood rate compared to 60. That to me is going to be the entire game plan on this map. You have to shut down aBeZy. You cannot let this man go crazy. So Vivid or Nero, in my mind, those are the two guys to figure out who's going to be responsible for trying to contain the first blood king.
We know who's responsible for the first ladder action is Cellium. As he and aBeZy now upstairs. Whoa, paperwork flying everywhere. Checking now mid-map, and I think you might have the drop on these players. Simp with the comms. Here comes the kill team. Oh, Vivid catches one out, so trades abound. 3v3 early on.
This is hot action too, because number 1 getting underneath finally gets traded, but you have Boston so much pressure through the middle of the map. But now it's your 2 ARs for Boston that are left alive, and Slasher and Simp on the flip side. Simp maybe thinking about an ace, thinking about the bomb plant as well. And the flank pressure is there, but a little bit too late. The bomb does go down.
Advantage now for FaZe with the bomb planted. Simp already got dead silence. What a crazy round for him. He might be able to make some moves here. Eyes on the bomb. Slasher's going to have to be the eyes for him because he's running around looking for any sort of potential attackers here. So out! Taken care of. Methodz makes it a 2v1.
Well, the question is, how clutch can you be? It is a 1v2, but you have the bomb down, so Slasher has a few things going his way. It's all about the timing, and for the moment, no one's checking him. He knows it's wide out in the open, and this is it. It's got to be Awakening. Has to check everything.
Wait a minute. He's checked it. He's got it. That's the round. Boston Breach. Methodz on the defuse, ample time to get it done, and again it was all on Awakening, the single point of failure there for Boston, and he does not.
And that's kind of a wild strat call from Breach as well, because they, like, you know, round 1 there's no trophies, so it's hard on offense to make the breakout towards B, because normally you just have nades pelted on you. Boston Breach don't throw any of their attacks to stop that cross. They let Atlanta phase out, but they basically had all 4 players guns up, ready to go through that middle lane, and at least got enough trades in the mix to clutch in the 2v2. So a dicey first round, but already well executed. And keep in mind, the first blood was for Boston, and they took down aBeZy.
Yeah. Sim had the nice rebuttal there again, the dead he earned, so expect to see that creep out earlier on here. I do believe Slasher has his still. Whether he swaps out to a trophy on defense, we'll find out in a moment, but for now, a little slower look on the defense here for FaZe.
Oh, that stun grenade, I think, just landed on top of 2 players. That was a green one, so Nero knows he's going for the chow, but wasn't ready for 2. First blood, no surprise to aBeZy.
As the frag grenade bounced right in, catches it on Simp. Methodz there with a pinch looking towards the A-bomb site now. Going toe-to-toe with Slasher at that range. Not an easy fight for either player. But for now, the rest of some machine guns now making the roaming around the map, and it's big weight with Deddy.
And they know they have aBeZy trapped through the middle lane. I think this is what number 1 and number 3 have spent so much time looking for him. So they're waiting to try to get the thorn in their side, or maybe making the dead silence play. They have bolted. Awakening got to the back, but Slasher somehow reads it, shuts him down. And Cell wins his gunfight as well. Methodz get cleaned up, and a comfortable, easy round right there for Atlanta FaZe.
Yeah, strong work out of FaZe. The equalizer found nearly immediately. And a much slower look again. Is that aBeZy first blood? He finishes the round as well for FaZe. They're so strong on this map, Chance. aBeZy's their playground.
And that's sort of that dual threat from Atlanta FaZe as well. We talk about the first bloods all the time, but even Slasher is like the lover of playing for picks and keeping things slow. So I don't know what his instincts told him that that middle lane was open and Awakening was coming through, but he makes the read, gets the timing perfect. And whether they want to be aggressive or play for picks, Atlanta FaZe can do it all.
Another round up, here we go. FaZe on offense. Ooh, aBeZy catches a little bit of a love tap and an aid. 9 HP. What? How did he do that? First blood, his teammates find another one, Cellium in the feed. Also, my good God, it's a 2v4.
I don't even know if they threw a trophy. They just do not care. Atlanta FaZe are bullies on the map and just gunfights like that. That is a team playing with confidence. That is aBeZy at his very best, and I mean, hey, he can kick open the door. Methodz, good luck with this one.
All right, Methodz, he's got his back turned. Will aBeZy get it? He does.
Okay.
That is disgusting work out of FaZe, disgusting work out of aBeZy. They take the lead.
And again, even for the first round, I was surprised Boston Breach aren't just chucking every single nade to stop that cross. Even this one, they chucked the first one, and 9 HP is 8 more than aBeZy needed to get that first blood. 5-1 through 3 rounds. I mean, he got first blood in round 1, so he has been a force in the next 2.
That boy's scary. He's very nice out of game, in-game terrifying. Here we go, another round. Boston offense this time. Let's see what they can do. Nab that bomb. B, a very popular choice on this map, Chance. Let's see how they do.
Yeah, 1 away from the cruise missile as well. So a lot of things going right in this moment. And aggressive as can be. Doesn't care. Not a care in the world. Gets the cruise. The other tear gets the trade.
God.
That's Methodz home. You know where he's going to be. And you don't even have to make it difficult for him. Let's just speed run that round.
3-1. There's nothing slow and steady about this whatsoever. We're not exactly setting a record, but FaZe. You see why the map count is so good? This was their pick, surely. Having a great time.
I mean, that's twice now that they've like tried to like break out of those doors and just challenge the tears like around that Xbox area. I think if your game plan is to fight the tears head on, just good luck with that one. It's not always easy, and obviously you're feeling it right now. Nero 0-4.
Hey, crazier things have happened. We see these players go on exceptional sprees. Embassy in particular, we see a lot of players individually hitting those high digits. This is where it typically happens. But let's see how it goes now. Defending now for Boston Breach once again. 2-2 split between A and B.
Great map control right now for Boston, around where we are truly going to be playing for picks. But if you got the cruise missile in the back pocket and you are controlling a main building, that might be the play call for Atlanta.
Here it comes. Right on time. Somebody ordered a cruise missile. Who's going to get it? As Boston now scramble to safety. 2 going towards A. Right into the jaws of Cellium. The top deck of the A-bomb site blown wide open. Awakening straight back onto the defense.
And they're taking it straight to him as well. I think at least that bomb was leaning over towards A, or maybe number 6 wants to start making plays, but it is Simp with the bomb, aBeZy popping dead silence, and it is Vivid that's out in the mix, and that's the bomb carrier that gets shut down. You know aBeZy is gonna get this trade, though. You still have the man advantage.
2v3, FaZe with the numbers now. Methodz is in the position to maybe make something happen if they go towards B, but once again up top, aBeZy wins the fight. That's a big one. 25 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, 25 seconds. The time is ticking. Methodz is back down, but this is Operation Don't Give him the bomb plant, and Cellium somehow wins the gunny. And Cellium might have just secured the round. He can play with Methodz all day. And this is just a nearly impossible situation to clutch. We'll see if Methodz has it in him.
He's going for the off angle. Will he check it? There's one. Immediate snap. And Cellium knows he can hold this position all day. He can dance all day like this, and he will. So fast.
Yeah, the Snake Master. That is a pixel and a half, and that's all Cellium's ever going to give you to try to play with.
Look at this.
What can he do? Catches a glimpse, gonna hit him in the foot. I mean, it's just free. Big round out of Atlanta FaZe, perfectly executed. You get the cruise missile, you stack up inside the building, you play off the information perfectly, and you force those players inside, and Cellium catches the first one, and then obviously catches Awakening, trying to make the play up top, wins the gunny towards the end, and now he's thinking about a cruise missile too.
See if he gets it. 5-1 for Cellium after that round. Lovely work from him. His watch is smooth form, running up the ladder now, straight towards B. He can get there in time. He might be able to catch a kill, but his teammates there. Trophies are in position.
Yeah.
The first blood over to the 1v1 against Awakening top window. Tags are in, and that trophy's going to help out quite a lot. Nero, though, Chance makes it a 3v3.
Gets on the board. I mean, big news. The guy that's on the donut, just to get a little bit of confidence, get in the mix, and unfortunately ends up getting shot in the back. That is bombed down. That is Atlanta FaZe with all the information. And this is Simp able to fly. He still has the dead silence sort of reactivated, and I mean, he has just put himself in the perfect position.
So fast, so quiet. Let's see if Awakening can make the read. The timing is very unfortunate. A lot of damage dealt. Nice comms, and he gets involved. 2v1, all on Cell.
And that is actually perfect, because they're able to play the spread. But keep in mind, Cellium, at least for information, he knows he has the bomb down, and if you're a kill away, you can just let the plant go in and chow the guy off bomb, or try to make some read. But I guess if you know you're going against both ARs, that should tell you something.
Expect the unexpected. Here comes Cellium now, waiting for a moment to make the dive here. Just on the phone now. Look, there's one. Trades through. Boston stay alive.
And I think Cellium is actually happy with that for the 1v2. Obviously a decent attempt, but I think he can hear them going towards the bomb. Says, I will take the freebie. I will take the cruise. And and try to carry that advantage into the next round. But big moment there for Boston. Nero gets on the board. He gets off the donut. You're able to clutch in that situation. And just for the fact that Owakening barely gets out with his life and sets Simp up for the easy trade from Methodz. Nice round to try to keep some life in it.
It's a 3 spree from Methodz. Can he get himself the second set of freaks he's had in the series so far? Now back to the defense for Boston Breach.
And here's one, Nate. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but number 3 is watching the cross here. But again, players are just getting out towards the B site effectively for free. So Atlanta FaZe, they get the control they want, but now it's all about the flank. Boston are flying, trying to work their way through PD.
Here we go. Oh, around the tree we have it. aBeZy wins the fight. First blood once again. The rest of the squad's in position for it. No, Vivid doesn't read the player on the stairs, and it's Slasher. Nero's coming in to try to find something, but he's just shooting his teammates' bodies now. He's in trouble. There's the quick stun check. Nobody home. Cellium up top as well. We're looking a lot like Map Point.
Yeah, I mean, what are you supposed to do? You're giving up B-side control. You're only having one player hit the nade at least over the wall, and I think the tags are coming through, but players just able to get out every single time. I mean, aBeZy's doing it with 9 HP, still collecting those first bloods, and just a tough one right now for Boston, squaring up on a map like this. Atlanta FaZe cruising right along.
Yeah, we're going to forget all about that first map and tie the series up in a single round unless Boston Breach can find their footing here on Embassy. And so far, it's not been easy. Yeah, let's go, Boston. Let them know. Let them know. They're smoking you boys. Map Point FaZe.
Yeah, playing for picks as well. Boston do this consistently, but aBeZy, this is also what he does. Getting the stuns out, and it's actually Simp. Yeah, the tear number 2 that collects the first bloods. Either one of them can do it. You know, someone's in the back, and Simp looking for the quickest ace maybe of the year.
Well, no, denied. Can Owakening do it though? 1 minute on the clock. Cellium lines it up. Here comes the trade. aBeZy dives for safety. Not going to happen. FaZe clean them up on search and destroy. A 6-2 victory and a decisive one at that. But hey, no major surprises there. FaZe incredibly strong on the map and mode.
Yeah, and the crowd goes wild. I mean, what are you supposed to do? It's not against the rules to play Atlanta on Embassy. You're not like legally required to ban it against them. I just don't know why you wouldn't. They have literally smoked every single team that they played. That is basically the stat line you get to see every time. 4 first bloods for a beat. Dude, Vivid had 1 first blood, and it was in round 1. And after that, Atlanta FaZe did literally whatever they wanted. Even in the other round that FaZe lost, Cellium got a cruise missile. So, yeah, that is Embassy Search and Destroy. Highly recommend to not play Atlanta on it. Next question.
Next question. What map's up next? I can't quite remember. We do have a control coming up soon. Search and Destroy Embassy, though, just under 7 minutes as the boys from FaZe sped run through that one. We are tied up now, 1-1 in the series after what has been a crazy run of events. Speaking of crazy chance, we've got an Asilo next.
And Asilo is going to be a fun one. Again, for Boston, obviously the S&D for the Embassy did not go well. I don't think these guys want to see a Game 5 at all. So these next 2 respawns where they have a great deal of potential, that's where these guys need to execute.
See how things go. We're going to take a quick commercial break on the other side of this one. Asilo Control, find out who takes the lead here in the series. Wonderful stuff coming at you live from the MGM Hall here in Boston. We've got a banger coming up after the break.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Hi, Neighborinos, and welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We're nearly ready to get into map number 3 here, Boston Breach, Atlanta FaZe. An absolute bloodbath so far. Chance either way. Control should be a lot of fun, though, right?
Incredibly difficult to predict at the very least, so it'll be a bit more exciting. Like the aBeZy, that is exactly how that was going to go down on paper. That's exactly how it went down. But the next 2 maps, we have very little information, pretty much from both of these teams. It's like their most auto-vetoed map in Control for both sides of the stage right now, so not a ton of information. It's just going to be all gunning, and we'll see what they can do.
Well, it's bound to be a lot of fun. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, into our next map here in the series, Asilo Control. Someone's going to take the lead after this one. Let's find out. My boys are ready to roll, gearing things up. Let's get into the game.
And I just think, what, players to watch on this one. Maybe swing it back to the ARs just a little bit. While aBeZy had a slow start, map number 1, Slasher was there the entire time, but it was Cellium who finished 18 and 30. And obviously Owakening was doing Awakening things the entire time, dropped the 1.22. You get your ARs with some domination and control on a map like this, without question, a key to success.
See how it goes already. We're looking like a bit of a lean towards the A side of the map for Atlanta FaZe, and that's a heavy defensive turnaround for Boston. The respawn's looking solid so far. They managed to stave off the opening attack. Here comes number 2.
And you talk about getting the AR set up in Control. Vivid actually starts off this map with attack 56 and was able to pick up a couple, so really no pressure on the map at all. Simp trying to break out, but his teammates are just dying around him. I mean, Atlanta FaZe, for the moment, only have 2 kills. And if you're ever a Vastnet player squaring up with a guy on top tower, that is not a good sign. Atlanta FaZe getting punished straight off the rip.
Running out of time as well. 45 seconds remaining here in the opening round. All we'll have to Boston to do is hang on. Maybe take care of those 24 lives FaZe have. But for now, you're holding all the power positions. You're looking great. You're on a B, though, for FaZe.
Yeah, they've actually completely left that zone open. I mean, 0 pressure on that side of the map for Boston, so very stacked up for the A push, but that life advantage that they built up off the rip, well, that is now gone. Tied up on lives, and that'll be nearly 2 ticks of that zone already through. Methodz is trying to flank, but honestly, I don't know how much you can actually do.
Oh, it's a good nade. You get a couple of players off the point, but for now, B is looking pretty much cleaned up. Can Nero get there in time to hit the contest? No, Sim wins the fight. That's the B point taken care of. Another minute to play with.
And if I'm Vivid, I am dipping out and trying to get to the other side of the map as quick as possible, but he's going to fall. Good news is Atlanta FaZe does spawn on the top left because Awakening does get towards the tower, so Boston controlling the spawns the way that they want. 1.5 minutes, how long they have to hold on for.
It's going to be a very solid headbutt between both these teams. Everyone's lined up for this one. FaZe making the maneuver now through the inside of the warehouse. Nero, first man in. Uh-oh. Simp stays alive at large. That's a problem. He loses the fight. aBeZy wins his as well. Boston running out of numbers.
That is a problematic start, and you got Methodz looking for his first kill. Awakening actually takes it from him, and only 1 player on the point for the trades. It's Simp that Methodz is going to deal with, and if you open
he
your
doesn't
eyes,
see it.
it's going to be free.
He doesn't see it. Woo! Gets it. That was frightening. Jesus. If he had turned around and burnt him there, that'd have been a game changer.
And keep in mind, what they've actually lost is the map pressure. Radio Tower's now actually gone over to the Atlanta FaZe side of things. So long term, you do have the positioning. And if Atlanta FaZe get 1 set of kills, I mean, they might not even need the 1 set.
God.
1 tick's already through. They're watching the flanks. They're getting the kills, and they're looking to get this done.
He's just eating him alive. Simps on a 3. Big nade from Methodz. You've managed to get him off him for a second, but now aBeZy's there. Can Nero win it? No! That should be the A zone done. And Asilo just as crazy as we'd hoped.
I'll be honest, man, that is just too easy. I mean, Boston Breach effectively had the perfect opening break. You get the spawn trap set up, you get all the map control you want, and then they just left the zone completely out in the open. Atlanta FaZe walk over towards it, take it for free, and then as soon as they got the positioning back over on the A side of the map, it was just instantaneous. It didn't take much effort, didn't really have to outslay super hard. Round kind of just fell into their lap.
It's a low kill game so far for both teams. An interesting sign of things to come. Here we go, though. Atlanta FaZe now on defense. Boston attacking both A and B. Let's see which way they lean this time. Of course, B was taken care of pretty handily in that first round chance by FaZe.
And now Boston just trying to set up for the opening break. And hey, you take down aBeZy. That's a good start. A lot of pressure now on the A side of the map. Slasher, last one standing. Gonna be able to get it done. And maybe now Vivid opportunity to flank. But as good as the opening break was, Atlanta FaZe just trying to keep things stable.
Stable is good. FaZe like stable. Can Vivid get this kill? Nope. Cell, clean work on the inside, keeping these numbers down, but you've managed to get one player on A. Nero wins a couple of fights to the inside. That's a good look now for Boston.
You saw Nero down low as well. The pressure in the bottom of the building. Sasha, though, just waiting for the kills to fall into his lap. And looks like Atlanta FaZe, I mean, you finally had pressure for Boston Breach around the point. It does not last for very long. Big Gunny, though, there from Vivid. Able to pick up 2. And Boston Breach is sort of the trickle effect. They're always able to try to keep that next guy towards the point.
Yeah, it's a great conveyor belt now of green players making their way towards that point. You managed to secure the first segment at A. Nice nades from Nero. This is going to be an absolute melee, though, on the point of aBeZy. He's working on the flank here. I'm not sure if anyone's going to read this. Nero, he does. Big win there. Awakening here. Ban out. Methodz in the feed as well. This should be A captured.
This is also a lot of pressure on the top side of the map because now you actually have Vivid winning gunfights over towards the B zone. So A gets secured. Vivid the opportunity to try to put some pressure on. And he's got players shooting at him. He's calling players on the cross, but all he was good for there is a little bit of information as aBeZy shuts those 2 players down. But just as we said for Atlanta FaZe, so much time for Boston to work with and a 4-life lead.
You work hard to get that space and time, and FaZe snatch it right back again. aBeZy in the kill feed. Nero, this is a moment for him to try to cause a bit of discourse in that back line of Atlanta FaZe. Let his boys get forward as he roams around the halls of Asilo now. Same thing for Vivid on the other side. Taking care of there. 10-10 overall in the kills department. Nothing bad whatsoever for anyone here.
Yeah, Nero looking for a hero play as well. Unfortunately, number 6 actually just spawns right behind him, but gets the first one and now just wants to be annoying and maybe try to drag some pressure. Or maybe he needs to fly. He's being ignored because everyone else is just focusing on his teammates.
Whoa!
Made it to the back truck, but gets cut down, and now Methodz the most aggressive player on the map because Atlanta FaZe right now, they are living inside of Boston spawn.
It's exactly the same thing on the other side of the map right now. It's all under Simp. He's the player on that side. Methodz the player on this side for Boston Breach. I mean, you're hoping to just slow the flow of reinforcements. 12 lives apiece here in this control game.
I mean, yeah, Methodz is hiding in a corner, but Atlanta FaZe happy for it. They've got so much pressure on the top side of the minimap. That's a great start, though, for Methodz. Him and Nero trying to open things up, and it's only the Terrors left alive.
Less than 30 seconds to go, and aBeZy's got himself a sweet corner. If Methodz can get on the point, that's great. Oh, here comes the trouble, though. aBeZy, he pounces right time, right place. Here comes Vivid. Is he able to get much out of this as well? aBeZy's still alive and kicking. You're running out of lives for both teams. This could be the moment.
Oh, there's big too. You got to stop the clock, though. Someone needs to actually stand on the point. 10 seconds and ticking. Vivid's looking for the kills. You only got 1 player Awakening near the point, and he's going to fall. Someone has to touch it. Finally, with 3 on the clock, Boston get there.
Nero and Methodz, they're getting the job done. Here comes Simp, though, the kill team forward. Vivid now trying to get the stack going. Can you get at least 1 segment? That would help a lot. Nero, oh no, they're off the point. Time stopped by Nero. Oh my God, you're spinning plates right now, Boston.
Got to stay alive. I mean, Awakening, the next one in line. You just have to find ways to get there. You don't have the trophies. You are getting tagged up and barely. You got the second tick. Atlanta FaZe are not here yet.
And still holding it. You got up for a second. A quick contest. Dive, Nero. Oh my God, they get both. Ah, the kills. Wow, what a round. And FaZe may win it, but that was incredibly close for Boston.
I'm seeing giggles on Cellium. I'm seeing giggles on aBeZy, and he had so many different directions to look. I mean, they finally had pressure towards the end, but barely any time. Too much for Atlanta to work with. And now 2 rounds up. And back to the attack where, I mean, again, Atlanta FaZe, round number 1. Pretty clean and easy. Didn't have to put too much effort in to get the win, and 1 round away from going up 2-1 in the series.
2-1. This is map point for Atlanta FaZe. Boston have come so close in the offensive rounds. Let's see if they can get a defense under their belt and try to force 1 more. Here comes aBeZy. Attack 56 in hand. Vivid takes care of him. Nero loses the fight downstairs. Oh, and it's Simp with a 2. We're looking towards the B zone now.
Well, yeah, good news is Vivid did get a second kill before he fell, so Vivid did his job off the break. So Boston, decent stuff again. You have players spread out across the map, and they are ready for this 2-front fight. And Simp is playing with the idea of working towards B. Boston have it covered. But Cellium now on A, putting the pressure on, gets chopped down. Everyone from Atlanta is going to fall. And Nero, ready for it. Never a stranger to the chat.
That's a big fight. Great work from aBeZy. Again, that front line for Boston. See those green arrows? That is as far forward as FaZe want him to get. No further than that. Here we go. aBeZy trying to keep his boys alive and kicking. Methodz finding the shots down low on the inside of the warehouse. Simp now trying to push them forward. aBeZy catches a stray Awakening. That's the time to go chance now.
Well, they've cleared out their base, and now it's just Nero they're trying to hunt down. Nero, no stranger to the chow, flies out into a pre-aim, and there's the break Atlanta FaZe were working for. Took a little bit of time to set up, but 32 seconds is plenty of time to try to capture it.
It's the terrors on A, man. I mean, look at them working together so well. Watch those little heads swivel around. Make sure they've got all angles covered. No questions asked. The second segment is done. Nero, here you go. Has to break this, can't get it done again. FaZe run the A zone.
And aBeZy on a 4, that's going to be chalked up. And number 1 and number 3, Vivid and Awakening, have pushed up into the white building. But even Cellium in his own spawn is ready for these pushes. So Atlanta FaZe, again, just like round 1, a minute and a half to work with. And they have players all over the map.
This is it. Boston all comes down to the B zone. Try to hold it as long as you possibly can. Just over a minute to play with.
Big wins.
Boy, 17 lives left for Boston.
Cellium just trying to keep his base nice and secure. aBeZy's the cutoff man in the middle of the map, and everyone else for the breach going to be coming off spawn. So now the gunfights in the map gets a little bit easier to orchestrate. The gunfight doesn't though, and Awakening takes aBeZy down. The front man no longer on fire.
Cellium trying to be so sneaky towards the back line. He could be very dangerous here. He can soften up the defenders, makes a bit of noise. Awakening wins another massive gunfight. That's huge. Simp, next man up. Can he be sneaky? Third time, potentially the charm now. Maybe, baby. Guns are still up though. Boston not letting anyone get close.
And it's just everything is covered for Boston. This is so much better than the first go round. Nero's down low, putting on the pressure. You got the ARs posted up, but Slasher and Cellium again find ways to deliver. Simp just doing a dance, trying to stay alive. He's playing with Awakening.
Hello.
You bought the pressure out towards the B point. At least Atlanta had that opening.
They're on it. 21.1 seconds and slowly but surely climbing. Here comes Awakening. Another for him. Oh my God, he gets 2. It's a 5 spree. Demon Joe looking for a few more. Simp finally stops him up. Close and personal goes Vivid. Clock's ticking. Can Boston stay alive? The final 10 seconds.
Well, desperation right now for Atlanta. Simp the front man, but Vivid spots him the entire way coming. Simp though still able to pick up 1. Vivid looking for the 2-piece. He gets shot in the back, and now it's Simp on point. Only 3 seconds left on the clock. Shade to the last round.
Yeah, not over yet. We've seen how close this one could come down a bit. Nero, can he clean up both? No, he can't. One more to go on the point. That's it. An open field. Run for it. It's going to be aBeZy dives in. 0.9. That's the round. Boston breach. They get on the board.
Little bit of life and much better on defense. Again, the first round, they basically let the B zone just wide open for a free capture. Much more well orchestrated, spreading the map so much more in this round. Because you see Atlanta FaZe, it's constant. Someone always working the top side of the map. They are just looking for any opportunity. They don't care about what zone they capture first. They just want the opening.
FaZe keep you guessing on this map in nearly every single engagement. 17-13 for Awakening, though. He's been keeping it together.
And Vivid, by the way, 24 and 21. So what a performance out of him as well, just trying to keep up with Simp. But make no mistake for Boston, again, fearful of the game 5s. They want to get this done with the respawns. They want to make this comeback here.
Stay away from the search and destroy. That's the game plan right now for Boston Breach. And hey, man, rounds like this, can they force that final here on Asilo? Vivid dancing the dance. Whoa! He takes 2 to tango. He wins that one. Here comes his teammates to back him up, and it's Nero again in the feed. First segment gone at A, and you are starting to pick up pace, Boston.
Oh, he is flying as well, focused in the eventually aBeZy makes the read, but once again, the opening breaks from Vivid specifically have been phenomenal. 27 kills, buys them the A zone, and 2:15 to work with to try to capture B, and obviously Awakening. I mean, he's looking at your spawn. Boston have so much pressure on the map.
Yeah, we call this area the map party. And he is the party pooper right now. 4 spree comes to a close. 2 minutes to run around here and have a good time for Boston. Get themselves over towards B. Can FaZe hold it?
Vivid doesn't get spotted. He has found a little bit of an opening, and him and Nero down low, working together as these SMGs. Not an easy fight, but it delivers.
That is a massive win. That backside of the map now all yours. Boston, opportunity to dive on a B. Still trying to find those kills. They're playing this one slow, but they're dealing with all those members of FaZe. Now you're on the point.
And now you're spawning him out. You have so much time to work with. You can let the solo stack for a moment. That's where you got Vivid playing for control. If you keep Atlanta FaZe on these distance spawns, eventually you feel like you can convert.
Awakening's just trying to stay alive, literally fighting for his life. He tucks a toe back into the zone, maybe able to get the first segment on a B. That's nice work. Again, another big kill for Awakening. Over to the point immediately, they'll go FaZe. Can Vivid answer answer back? He does. Back and forth we go.
And he has been alive for so long, working this map and running in circles. And you still have bought so much time. You still have a life advantage as well. And now, for the first time, you have a stack.
A lot of time. Bit of a stack here. 2 players now. Vivid, good timing. Oh, Simp, great coverage. Forward to the point you now fly. Nero, reinforcements surging forward. The cavalry's here. Kills are in. aBeZy keeps the fight alive. Demon Joe, and we're going to go to a final round.
That is shades of the Empire right there in Vivid. Working the map, you got Owakening spinning in circles on the point. And the comeback might well just be in. Boston Breach, wonderful bounce back in these past 2 rounds. Trying to get things in the mix, and offense or defense for that team, I don't think they care. I think Vivid's got to be the man to watch. His opening breaks have been class so far this game.
You managed to rip 2 straight rounds like that. The momentum now surely in your favor. Vivid 30 and 23 off rip here. And we go once again now. Boston Breach on defense. Can FaZe stop the reverse sweep here in control? This is only halfway through the series. I tell you what, friends. Here we go.
And Vivid mixing things up. He's been up top every time, so he makes an adjustment, but so does FaZe. They want to deal with Methodz by the tower. And this is your guy that's 10 and 19, trying to take him down first.
Said he's outside. He's managed to touch some grass, but will he make much of it? His teammates in the feed. 2 from Nero. Slasher brought down in a moment. Can he stay alive? Here comes the pressure from FaZe. They're not out of the woods yet.
Yeah, trying to get cracked, and Slasher not far enough up, so Methodz able to stay alive. And again, you have #1 Vivid now rotating over towards the B zone, so Boston made that adjustment from round 1, trying to keep the spread on the map and keep them contained. They're feeling the pressure, though. Methodz has been dancing for such a long time, but where's the gunny? His Awakening, getting it done.
No way, FaZe, they set the play up so perfectly. Ruined by the huge 2-piece there from Awakening. Can they do it again?
That's a 5-3 from Awakening as well. So talk about how big of an impact a cruise missile could have, and Awakening is feeding for it. Pressure on B, it's aBeZy and Cellium right next to this point. Awakening maybe wants to drop in from the sky.
He might do this if he comes in from the right time, and it's going to work. There it is, streaks. Assassinated immediately though. However, over to Methodz now, trying to keep A safe. Big snap on a Slasher, but that's space now for FaZe. They should be able to get A.
Yeah, still though, pressure on the flank. Down low, aBeZy, perfect reads, trying to keep the middle of the map contained. More players in corners, and that is a massive stack by Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
A zone without question getting captured. A minute and a half to work with again. Every single round for Atlanta, seemingly. This has been how much time they have to work with. Now it's just that extra cruise is the extra problem.
It's a war of attrition here towards the B zone. One final chance for both these teams here in this map. FaZe trying to break out, they do. Simp, Slasher kills their way. Nero trying to keep the numbers up. Slasher on the back line. Oh, Nero was a big one. That's huge. Eyes forward. Last man alive on the field, aBeZy. And FaZe have to go back to the drawing board.
The reaction time on Nero is second to none. aBeZy right now waiting for the play to fall in his lap, but it's 2 players he's dealing with, an Awakening, making the chow so difficult. You got Vivid on flanks as well. You got Atlanta FaZe trying to pierce through the middle of the map, but they're getting cut down along the way. Awakening finding kills. Vivid can't quite get the next one, but there is just barely any pressure that FaZe can work with.
A single bullet either way between Methodz and Slasher. They're in that fight. And it changes to look Simp, though. He's managed to pierce the firewall. He's now in. On to the point. Here we go. FaZe starting to heat things up. Awakening once again on the defense. Cellium on the front line. Keeps it going. You're running out of numbers, FaZe, and you're running out of time.
And you got Vivid pulling out the tack as well. The extra AR for this site. Clean so far. It is only aBeZy pressed up and aggressive with 17 seconds. Never a bad time to call in a cruise.
Yeah, cruise time, surely. Awakening 31-16. Here we go. Letting it rain in from above. I'm not sure if there's any trophies on the B zone, but this is going to be it. This cruise perfectly timed. The Skyz are no longer a safe place. Slasher out there. It's done. Whoa, here we go. Simp, last possible second. And the reverse sweep is complete. Control goes to Boston Breach.
And for a team that has had problems in the clutch, they don't love the round 5s, they don't love the game 5s, but they find themselves down 0-2 to multi-time world champions on the other side of the stage, and they make that comeback. And on the head, Methodz better dap up his teammates after that one, because everybody else putting on a showcase. Vivid was a monster, making high IQ plays that entire time, but making those bounce back 3 rounds. That is beautiful stuff out of the Boston Breach. And who doesn't love alliteration?
Hey, that's brilliant. One thing Boston, the absolute, the shining weakness in their trophy cabinet right now is the fact that they don't have the ice when it comes to these real clutch moments, and that was a huge one for them. What a turnaround there in the series. 3-2. They take the lead by 1 here. One more hard point's all they need. Let's have a look at the highlights as a banger of Asilo comes to a close.
And pick a player on Boston and point out as well. Vivid for the opening breaks. I think I saw Owakening with 20 kills on defense as well. So he was simply just able to lock it down. But I think the breaks were really the difference maker for Boston. Like, they were always able to keep control. Even the first round where they dropped the ball, they just left that one zone open. And that's the only time they really got punished. Outside of that, super clean through and through the entire time. And just a wonderfully orchestrated game, at least after the fact. So Asilo, a very difficult one to predict for both of these squads, but if Boston can get it done, they set themselves up. This is how they want the series to go. They want to get it done in less than 4.
Quite frankly, the perfect result for a series or a map that we could not have called any more crazy. 3-2 there, the final score as these highlights nearly come to a close. We go now to another hard point here. Can Boston Breach here in a home crowd find victory over an incredibly formidable opponent, Atlanta FaZe? Good work on all accounts there from Breach and from FaZe as well, man. I mean, those opening breaks, incredibly difficult to deal with. The first 2 rounds, they took care of business so fast. That opening round chance, crazy stuff from FaZe. They weren't quite able to get back into that side of form towards the latter half of the control. But here we go, man, another map.
This is also a map, by the way, I mean, this entire series, you could talk about the pick and bans for such a long time, because for Asilo, both of these teams, it's been their primary veto. The fact that Boston let Embassy Search and Destroy through is a talking point, at least for me, but that Mercado Hardpoint, this is gonna be the first time Boston Breach had played this the entire year. A 0-0 record, but it's not like it's been their auto veto. They have let it through. It's just never worked out in a series to actually see them on the map, so they're not fearful to play it. But it is going to be our first time, which means we have no idea what to expect other than the fact that, I mean, at this point, we're just expecting Owakening to fry.
Well, he's looking great, man. I mean, everyone on Boston's looking good. We're seeing very strong individual performances from nearly everyone in this series. So no one is being a sort of dead weight right now. That's what you love to see. Let's see how we go, though, into this Mercado hard point. And 2 players we're going to be keeping a close eye on. It's the main ARs for both teams. It's Methodz and it's Slasher.
And that is, wow, I was going to say, I thought Slasher was Mr. Consistent because of how well he was performing, at least in the first hard point and spot as a loss, but suffered just a little bit. That control did not go his way. And honestly, for Methodz, I mean, his KD suffered on that control, and he's still around a .88. So overall, again, in the respawns, Boston have been super solid, get things done. And on Mercado, these are the guys that you just are desperate to get them in good spots. If you get them posted up on the rotations, they can fry, but if they just find themselves in bad situations, oh, those KDs will suffer.
Those KDs will suffer, but again, kills aren't everything. These guys aren't playing necessarily for these high kill games. If they're finding a ton of kills, that's not necessarily a good thing for the team in general. You want to find those guys holding back, making sure spawns are going your way, and that is essentially their job. Want to see them go wild here on this hard point. Match point for Boston Breach here in winners round 1 phase to force the game 5. And I'll tell you what, mate, another game 5 wouldn't be a bad thing.
Not at all. I mean, maybe for Boston, but maybe not for the fans. Well, even maybe for the fans, at least in this venue. We get to see, but I'm thinking about the opening breaks. Perfect on aBeZy Forge's hard point for Boston, right? They just go on a massive tear right from the jump. Almost every single round of the control, it seemed like Boston had a game plan ready to go. And now the opening break on this map can be an absolute difference maker. Boston need to keep these bottom side spawns and need to keep Atlanta FaZe contained. Simp, though, he had a different idea, open things up with 2. And look at that spawn. Already FaZe have a couple players on the bottom. That's as good as it gets.
That should translate into a lot of hard point time a little bit later for FaZe. For now, if any time they get is going to be a win. Awakening not able to be the man to drive the dagger deeper into FaZe and flip those spawns once again. Bottom side of the minimap, guys, that's what we're fighting over now.
And honest to God, I mean, these are, you see a team that's never played this map before. It is all about like spawn management and just a small player a little out of position. I mean, Methodz is 4-0, that's great, but you're going into a money killing. You need to start chopping these players down if you want the opportunity, because the kills are great. If you don't have control, this lead is going to change radically at the start of this P2 hill.
Yeah, P1 on this map is nothing really of any interest. It's towards the second we now go. FaZe in the hard point. Cantina's all theirs. Here comes the hit from Boston. How good will the break be? Through the barbershop? Nope, Nero's not got a problem there. aBeZy. He was the demon barber of Ramasa. He's looking to get it done here on Mercado as well.
Yeah, well, that stun should not have gone that direction. That is not how physics work, but aBeZy stuns himself and ends up getting traded out because of it. A lot of the pressure on the back alley, and Simp, as all the players underneath him, can only deliver for one. This is the break Boston are looking for. Cellium forced to retreat, looking for the kills. He's last man standing, but Breach have done enough at least to get the break. That is a big moment to make sure this game does not spiral out of control.
And this is an awkward fight to take. He's not going to be able to get any more out of it. Owakening kills there. Late break there from Boston Breach. 20 seconds to be had. They'll get him back in the lead for now, but at the very least, you still need to hit the top of the map.
I'd say I'd take that for Boston as well, because that is a big moment just to keep this game close. But obviously that rotation, not looking like a fun mini-map right now. 3 players grouped up together for the Breach on the left side, but they're going to be dealing with 4 in total. Trades have to be on point. The entry has to be on point. And aBeZy, head on a swivel. He's ready for everything.
Simp's got the top window covered. Here comes the hit, and it's not looking great. Oh, okay, this is awkward. Real awkward indeed. Final kills come through, and it is a bloody mess there on the hard point.
Well, they got the break, though. I mean, this is Cellium, last man standing. He's got 2 players underneath him, so Breach have already done enough. The trades were clean enough, and now Cell, the last one standing. So many players to deal with.
My God.
Hasn't gotten taken down yet, because him and Simp doing enough. Talk about the main AR staying alive to help your team secure that hill.
Just when you think it was all going so well for Breach, FaZe break right on back. Here we go, though. 25 seconds here, and so far Boston got a lot of time. We've got eyes on New way in advance. Both teams committing to this one. It's a 1v1 on the hard point currently. That's a lot of time now grabbed from Cellium. 15 seconds.
It's also, yeah, I was going to say, little things add up. So Cellium winning that gunfight over towards goal just bought his team like a 30-point swing. And now Simp on the rotation, who is 10-5, is looking to cut them down along the way. Atlanta FaZe have pressure all over the map. Still at the bottom side. Oh! Still get the 2-piece, and the rotation is now perfect. Atlanta FaZe back to back to back on these rotations have been so clean.
So fresh, so clean, so dangerous. Can Slasher join him? Hello, Zinni. I found that one. There's a second for him. Can Slasher get the third? No, not greedy. A true vet. Backs on up. Allows his boys to soak up the hard point time and keeps Boston uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're trying to make the play, though, right? If he knows he's spotted, wants to try to pierce the hill, and only is able to do so for a second. Boston Breach, no love in the kill feed right now. They are struggling to get their way to this point, and you got Mr. MacArthur with the Vance step, trying to lock things down in the hill, but it's Owakening, gets it done. All that, though, for 20 seconds. Look who's ahead of the rotation again.
FaZe, top side of the mini-map. Boston Breach are going to get there, but they're going to run into a lot of adversity, a lot of trouble. A couple of seconds going their way from old. You love to see it, but can they make the break? Nero checking every corner he possibly can. Methodz backing him up, and aBeZy wins the first fight. That makes things real tough for Breach.
Boston had the swarm, though. Not a lot of trophies around the point. Methodz is about to come up to try to get this inside the hill. That could have been a massive gunfight to win, but Atlanta FaZe, clean house, keep the control, and again, that is why rotations are so key. Only a 30-point game right now, but now for Boston, it's looking like they're starting to flood a little bit one by one. Not going to work like that. You got to group up together.
The Atlantan firing squad as FaZe just keep finding kills, no problem. Very difficult to break into the point. You're seeing it on screen, how hard it is to get even close to this thing, as Cellium is devouring them. I'm not even sure if he's chewing at this point.
I mean, he just lived over by 10, right? Both hills. He's just doing whatever he wants. I mean, Slasher and aBeZy 9-9, the other two feeling great in the kills column, and we've been playing the rotation game this entire time. Atlanta FaZe has literally won the rotation to every single hill. Boston, you have to break this one down.
aBeZy, the man at the top of the stairs. He's giving you the first problem to deal with. Gunfire there from Slasher. Here comes the trade through. Zinni hits the stairwell. Immediately traded out. It's once again aBeZy in the feed. You've got Owakening on point, though. aBeZy knows it, and here comes the fight. Slow and steady. Owakening wins. Rotations won.
I mean, finally able to get at least a little bit of pressure. Now you clean up the feed. So literally the first time in the entire game, Boston win a rotation and try to buy themselves a little bit of life. And this is a money hill. One good full 60. You will be right back in this game. Now, long-term, Cellium does have the cruise missile. Not fun to deal with, but so far you are handling the top of canteen.
He's starting to heat up, and Cellium is alive and kicking. You've seen him in this position so many times. Good work out of Boston, though, keeping these players at bay. Up to Methodz now. Beautiful work. Nice timing, but FaZe. Late break, 20+ seconds to be had. You wanted it if you were Boston Breach, but for now for FaZe, push the lead forward.
And this might also be cruise missile time as well. Very open hill. Cellium can play around the timing, and Atlanta FaZe can take the slow approach through this back alley. Owakening spots him out, but that's a lot of FaZe players flying. They are looking to dominate this alley. Easy reads for the moment. They got that control.
Yeah, whether you want to break the hard point, win the rotation, that streak's going to help out a lot. There it is. Cellium takes care of Awakening. Methodz still alive. Trophies here. How many fights can City win? Oh, Simp does get involved. Gets the kills. Nero on the flank. Should be able to catch both these players out. Eyes up. Gets one. Beautiful work onto the second. No! One more bullet! There it is. Awakening card slasher there. Teamwork from FaZe on point.
I mean, hey, you dealt with the cruise though, and you still get the break and hopefully maybe get Nero on the hot hand, but it only lasts for so long. FaZe right now, I mean, they're just on point. Clean 4 down in the feed. Look at the coverage they have on the map. Atlanta FaZe are everywhere.
Wow, Atlanta FaZe, they are fiending for the game 5. Gameplay looks hot. Let's go for a quick listen in. See how the comms sound.
I'm just trying to stay up.
I don't see the bottom. Bottom. One gate.
I was on the other side. Gate?
Gate, yeah, just gate.
One
Yes.
shot. Back one shot. Long still. Long still.
One's pocket. Like hitting on.
He's just like long still.
Gate.
Gate. He's on bottom truck. He's on MP3. Also, one's behind me. Long, I think. I think he's out. P3 now.
I hear him. Oh, big cut.
Nice.
They're spawning 10.
I'm trying to deep. They can be dark.
I'm getting in the corner.
Where's the time they can be dark? Let me know.
I'm in the corner. I don't get dark. I don't get dark. I'm looking gate.
Gate jumped out.
Gate.
Nice. Missing Reese. Dark on me. Meat. Last guy. He's
still there. Yellow.
Push out your dark.
I hit one mid cut. Mid cut in mid roof. Watch out. Another one mid roof.
I think. I'll take mid roof. Could be dark.
It could hide that.
Stay down.
I got nade. I'm getting nade. Give me.
Ivory yellow side. We don't win up this game.
It's a little bit of smack talk from Cellium at 23 and 8 chances. A disgusting performance, and FaZe are looking forward to that game 5 now.
I mean, good news for Boston. You didn't get 100-point club. They got at least a 102, but again, on rotation. Atlanta FaZe, no surprise. First one's in. Simp, no surprise. Able to get the 2-piece, and Cellium, 23 and 8. You just expected Atlanta to end this game here, and honestly did so without breaking a sweat.
Oh man, Cellium has just gone insane. 25 and 8. Looking for a few more. His boys are in, and that will be game 5. Let's go, Boston. Get involved, baby. What a series it's been, but it ain't over yet. One last chance now for these two teams here in the series, and winners bracket round 1 here at this tournament has already proven to be the most incredibly closely contested we've seen in a major so far.
And Atlanta FaZe are just straight up sucking the life out of the crowd as well. I mean, it's dead in here. There was nothing optimistic about Boston that entire map. Literally, as soon as they gave up the spawns for P2 off the opening break, it was the collapse after the fact. They got out-rotated to nearly every single hill. Nero just went, what is that, like triple negative 9 and 27 as well. So that might be an example as why Boston have only played this map a total of 0 times this year. That is their first, not a good look in. Shades of the Embassy, Atlanta FaZe, a cakewalk to victory.
Yeah, when it's easy for FaZe, it's super easy. But for now, we go to another search and destroy, the last one. Back to Asilo. We'll see how easy this one goes, as this series has been so back and forth. Incredibly close there on the control. But again, when it's easy for FaZe, squeaky clean. 6 and 2 on the Embassy, 250 to 105 there on Mercado Las Almas, and now once more to Asilo. Chance, which way we leaning, brother?
I mean, look, Asilo is not the worst map in the world for Boston. They've made improvements on it throughout stage 2, but it is just game 5 in general. It is the ice that has been a problem. 0-5 record on this map, and here's where they need it most.
Well, we'll see if Boston can find the ice here. They've struggled in these clutch moments, and an important one to win right here, right now. When we come back after this quick commercial break, game 5, Asilo, search and destroy.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
And here we go into Game 5. Boston Breach, Atlanta FaZe. Just going the distance after a very, very decisive victory there for FaZe. Chance surely going into this Asilo Search and Destroy. They're feeling fantastic.
The prediction for it to go to a Game 5, I think, was on everybody's minds. Atlanta FaZe has lived in the Game 5s throughout this stage, and again, you just have to say it time and time again, it's just been the thorn in Boston's side. How different their year would look if they were clutch in these moments. I mean, talking about just an extra like 50 CDL points, they'd be like top 3 in the game right now. It is the clutch that has been the problem. It is the clutch that is now required to get this win. And I just got to imagine, I mean, your KDs, like 35% of rounds that you have in map 5s. We're talking about collapses that have happened to this team. And we've seen in Game 5 on this map, literally how they ended their split against LA Thieves. You had Vivid clutching 1v3s. You had Nero dropping bombs and going on tears, and it was not enough to get it done. Boston needs something extra.
Here we go. That little special something. Can Boston Breach summon it here? Can they conjure up a victory here in this Game 5 and prove all the haters wrong? In towards the A-bomb site we go. That's a fast pump for Nero.
This is perfect. I mean, you get the bomb down for free. You get out with your life and at least able to stay alive for a moment. Now, aBeZy is on the fullest of flanks for the moment. There's no dead silence in this round just yet, so he has to take his time. This is great right now for Breach.
Nero buys a little bit of time with a stun. Clock's a ticking. Cellium with the first blood there. aBeZy on the flank now makes the entry to the bomb site that bit more safe. Look to the top side of the minimap, 25 seconds left to go here on the round. Here comes the check. Corner's found. Slasher in on the kills. Nero taken care of. Zinni the last man left alive. Less than 20 on the clock.
And he's got attack 56. He's trying to pray for this one gunfight to fall on his lap. Chow the next guy on bomb and get it done.
Wait a minute.
Check it all in. Slasher gets the defuse off in the nick of time. And dead silence not needed. Atlanta FaZe just pounced on that retake. Happy to give up the bomb plant for free, and look at who got 3 kills in that round. Cellium, Mr. Do-It-All.
Helps open up the flank, helps save the bomb defuse there, secure the round. Great stuff from him. We'll swap sides now. Boston Breach will now be on defense. FaZe. Let's see what they've got on an attacking round. Either way, Chance, good looks from both teams early on.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the confidence game. That map 4 ends, the crowd dead silence around their team. Players got to take their headsets off. Atlanta FaZe probably cracking smiles. Boston not so much. Cellium just went 25 and 8, hasn't slowed down a single bit, and now all these players down low. It's going to be an A stack for sure. Atlanta FaZe happy to take their time. You got a player like Nero ready to flank, though. Can only get one. You get the trade, and you get out with your life. But obviously that bomb down in a tough spot. Methodz has eyes down the lane.
One's good enough. I'm pretty sure he could spot the bomb on the floor as well. So in this 3v3, FaZe reinforcing the point here.
And they're waiting on Slasher. I think Methodz can feel that pressure. He's going back and forth with Slasher right now, the man trying to play for picks. aBeZy and Cellium waiting for that play call. And look at aBeZy drawing him out as soon as Slasher's trying to move in a position. Methodz reads it but doesn't gun him down. Advantage now back to Atlanta.
So close, not enough. Here comes Vivid. Tags, can't catch the second dive there from aBeZy. Awakening, though, does make it a 2v2. Looking towards that B-bomb site hit. Time again. We've seen it. It's a square up. It's a big win from Vivid.
Yeah, what a freebie on the rotation wraparound. And aBeZy now for the 1v2. Not a lot of time to work with because Boston Breach have bailed themselves out of this round. And aBeZy wants to take it to him. Do you hear him down low? Do you go for the plant? Do you go for the kill? What does aBeZy do? Well, Vivid's got the cross, and obviously Awakening is there for the trades. The timing's great for aBeZy, but you don't know the next location. You get to the bomb in the nick of time, and look at where Awakening's going, away from the bomb.
Away from the bomb. It's been planted. It's a 1v1. Can aBeZy somehow pull out the clutch? What a moment this would be.
We're running out of fingernails to bite here in this venue.
And no dead silence pop for Awakening either. He might be loud to try to get this retake.
He's having to take it from downstairs. Here we go. aBeZy guns are up. It's a straight up fight. The dive is there and aBeZy pounces. And that is a decisive round for Atlanta FaZe.
Dude, this is a confidence killer in a round like that. aBeZy had, what, 12 seconds left on the clock in the 1v2. Granted, the Call of Duty timing was fantastic, but I mean, I guess Vivid was left responsible for both sites. Or Owakening, it seemed like, was looking over A. Vivid rat backs, gives up an opening, and aBeZy just breaks it down. Awakening can't even reach out because no dead silence active, and that is a painful round for Boston to have to swallow.
It's not over yet, though. Boston offensive round, here we go. Nero with the bomb in hand, first time round. It was a quick hit towards A. aBeZy, he's moving. Won't find anyone on this side of the map. You might be able to get into the site, as is tradition. And aBeZy, he can hear a whole lot. He won't hear this bomb get planted, though.
Well, Atlanta FaZe trusting the retakes once again. Not a lot of pressure, allowing it to go down on the A site. They were perfect last time, but it took a three-piece effectively for MC. Now it's up to aBeZy to find the intro. He delivers. First blood Atlanta.
35 on the clock. He's popping doors, or he's trying to at least. Nero, oh, he's feeling it. He goes out for the second, doesn't quite get it. 2v3, down a Vivid and Owakening here, trying to defend that bomb. Here come FaZe. They've overwhelmed the site. They might be able to dive on it straight away, and they may just do that. Vivid, this timing is outstanding. If he can get in there quick enough, he's got it. There it is, the diffuser goes down. Back over to Owakening now, 1v2.
And again, it's the exact same as round one, just a different player. We'll see if he's got the angle. Can't get it done. Deja vu all over again. That is the exact same situation. Cellium holding the exact same angle, in Atlanta FaZe winning in the exact same way. I mean, it's just how you write it down. It is clinical, it is efficient, and it is now Atlanta FaZe 9-2 in round count in this series against Boston.
It's tough to make these reads, man. You're showing a lot of respect to FaZe, rightfully so. A 3-0 lead thus far here in Game 5. No kills yet for Simp, no problem. The Slasher and Cellium doing the heavy lifting. aBeZy there as well. 4 kills for all of them. Here we go, another attacking round for FaZe.
Got to work on the muscle up. Cellium can do everything but jump, or actually maybe this is exactly what he's going for. A lot of people hate him for a good reason, because playing like that, it is so annoying to deal with.
He's not easy to deal with, indeed.
That's all with the left hand, too. That is ridiculous.
And boys, that forearm is something.
What aBeZy.
Another big first blood there from aBeZy.
Second blood Slasher.
Taking care of business. FaZe. And there, on the side of the wall, hanging off with a pistol. Cellium's down so much damage, doesn't seem to slow Vivid down at all. Gets 2. What in the name of all things sacred? The bomb is down on the inside of the A site now, and FaZe, they were trolling this one, but they paid for it.
That's a bit too cheeky right there. I mean, I think it was, what, Simp down low that just has to go for the trade when Vivid assuredly getting called out, but now 2 players behind enemy lines. These Boston players are laser focused on where Cellium was, not where he is now.
Well, they'll find him soon enough. He's behind the bar here on the inside of the rec room. Less than 30 to go in the round, and Boston will get their first round win. Can they deal with Cellium? Can they deal with Slasher?
aBeZy clutched the nail biter.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I thought Slasher knew. The intel, and Vivid able to deliver. Does get traded out. 15 seconds left. Again, it is a clutch for Owakening with no time on the clock at the A site. These rounds are happening in the exact same way.
It's Deja, Groundhog Day wasn't too long ago. Chance bomb planted, 1v1. Stun's gonna land. Oh, here comes Owakening. No way!
Oh my God.
No way! You are smiling if you're FaZe. 4-0.
I mean, offense and defense. It is 2 rounds that end in the exact same situation. We're just trading around a couple of different players. Whether it be attack for the clutch or a Vaznev Slasher with the attack, this go around the stun doesn't make a difference. The clock does not make a difference. Atlanta FaZe right now are the difference makers, effectively doing it 3v4.
I mean, Simp is playing. He's here. He's
His
present.
controller works.
Doesn't have to do a whole lot, though. His teammates are outstanding thus far. Atlanta FaZe, 4-0. Now, we have seen this happen before, Chance. If Boston get on the board, who knows what will happen. Hello.
Hey, just, okay,
oh, Jesus.
You want to make it easier for him, you could try.
Nero got clotheslined out of his gaming chair there. aBeZy and Simp now full control of the
And that's
site.
a breakdown. They're not even throwing stuns in the site. They're not even checking corners. They're sending Nero into death. The game plan is falling apart. The game 5s have always fallen apart.
Oh, no.
They are not shooting back at Atlanta FaZe. Playing a pub.
Cruise missile at the ready now for Slasher. It's a 4v2. Can Vivid and Owakening turn this around? Here comes the next kill, potentially for Slasher with a perfect timing. and passing on the information as well. Pressure now onto Boston.
And you just have to get the bomb as well. I mean, Atlanta FaZe have just swarmed down low. The tags are good. aBeZy's going to fall. And Simp is going to be weak and caught out. So this is a 2v4. They're trying to clutch, but Slasher, I mean, he's on a tear, and Cellium shuts the door in your face. A suffocating round. Anything Boston do to get a little bit of life? I mean, they need so much more than CPR in this moment. A cakewalk in the search and destroys.
It's a savage performance thus far from Atlanta FaZe. Match point. One more round. It's going to be a perfect 6 on Asilo. Here we go, Boston. It has to start here.
36 round win percentage in the round 5. That stat looking like it's going to drop potentially significantly. Nade's coming out for Atlanta FaZe. Nobody home next to those steps. Everybody down low except for Cellium, responsible for the top side of the map. And you do have number 4, Nero, making a play. I think this guy's going to spot it. And if not, the cruise missile certainly going to give you the intel.
Oh, we have to scramble for safety right now. aBeZy's going to catch Nero out. That's a great start. Here we go. Threads the needle. Bang! Takes care of Vivid. Magnificent work from Slasher.
I mean, 4v2. The hot 6-0. Owakening gets killed. Methodz, last man standing. Gonna have to 1v4 Atlanta FaZe. And Atlanta FaZe, even in a moment like this, making the perfect play call, getting that bomb down over towards B. There is simply nothing you can do.
They're giving nothing to Boston here. Not a single hope. Methodz is going to have to challenge out wide. He's going to come across Cellium at down range. Here it goes. Beautiful shots from Zinni. You at least force him back. aBeZy, the next man in on the site, and Slasher, the island player. He may be coming out now to take care of business. No Zinni, no Winnie. We'll find out if he's got what it takes in this very difficult situation, and he's moving. Oh, that's a bad time to reload! And that is the series. A 6-0 slaughter on Asilo brings the match to a close. Business as usual for Atlanta FaZe.
I mean, yo, if we did a vibe check in the building or like a poll of who we thought was going to win that map 5, I don't know if there was a soul in this building that would have picked Boston. I mean, literally no life anywhere except for like in Slasher and Cellium's hands. Slasher throwing up the 10 KD, 10-1 to finish things off. Effectively a perfectly played game in search and destroy. They got the clutches they needed because the first 4 rounds were technically close. Atlanta FaZe had the ice in every single one of them and walked away with a comfortable 6-0 win.
A very decisive way to close out the series and a great way to advance further into the tournament. Boston Breach will go down to the losers bracket. More tough teams down there.
That also might be the most comfortable Game 5 win of all time. Utter domination in both the search and destroys. Nearly 100-point club on the Mercado for map 4. I think Atlanta FaZe probably licking their lips when they saw the maps they got through because they said, hey, worst case scenario, even if we lose like the map 1, we're guaranteed to see a map 5 in this series, and obviously made very effective use of it. Nero, by the way, the only first blood for his team. That is, what, what's the math? 8 + 6, 14. 2 out of 14 rounds, Boston were able to get first blood.
Crazy stuff indeed. Well, that is that, ladies and gents. The series comes to a close in a whimper and definitely not a bang for Boston Breach there. But hey, they will go to the losers bracket. We'll see them later on tomorrow. Until then, though, Chance, crazy start to the day. We're not even we're about halfway through now. It's been absolute pandemonium. Another Game 5 in the books. Let's find out if we get another one after this. But before that, it's over to Guy Blaze on stage with the one and only First Blood Wizard, aBeZy.
Thank you so much, Miles and Chance. Give it up one more time for Atlanta FaZe as they come out on top. aBeZy, you guys played the villain here, okay? Yeah. But you are a hero to some of the fans out here in the crowd. Now, when it comes down to this series, the real turning point, what was going through your head after that devastating map 3 loss, and how did y'all really snap back into it into that map 4?
Yeah, I think we just threw a few rounds in the control. I mean, it happens sometimes, and they brought it back. So, but after that, you know, we played lights out COD.
Yeah, it definitely did, and that went into that game number 5. I don't know if it's really much to break down on how y'all did that. I think it was self-explanatory up there. But what I want you to do to break down is, you guys coming into this event, you haven't had the placements in which you're used to. What's changing for Atlanta FaZe here?
I mean, we're just really hammering down on the little things right now. I feel like our hard point is like our biggest like point that we're like working on right now. So, but I think we're doing a good job. So yeah.
Okay, well, hey, you know, knowing you guys, the hard points, you know, you guys will make that look easy in due time. Anything you want to say to the fans out here in the crowd chanting your name?
Yeah, shout out to the fans. I mean, I know you guys are rooting against us, but I appreciate, we still appreciate the love. So thank you.
He don't care how loud you cheer. He appreciates the love. That's gonna do it for me and aBeZy on the stage. Chris, take it away.
Some gorgeous gamers right there on the stage. Thank you, Guy Blaze and aBeZy. And what a series. Last time we saw the reverse sweep coming in as Boston jumped out to a 2-0 start. This time you go up 2-1, and then the last two are blowouts. FaZe making a statement at the end, and I feel like Slasher letting everyone know, this is what I do.
Yeah, he played so well the entire series. I mean, the guy is an absolute phenom. Coming in that map 5, you've got that presence. That's one of the reasons that FaZe did to get him in, to have that captaincy, that veterancy for the team, and putting up a performance like that in the map 5 against this home crowd as well. Typical.
Let's take a look at the bracket and how things are shaking up already. We have the Subliners dropping down. Now it's Boston with the 3 seed who will be dropping down to face off against the Seattle Surge. Do you like this draw for Boston, aLLeY, or could the Surge cause problems here in the lower bracket?
Oh yeah, no, this is probably one of the worst draws you could have got when it came to the lower bracket. I mean, you're talking about Seattle Surge that made it to finals in that Major 1. They did have a struggling qualifier, but near the tail end of it, they looked like the Surge of old.
Look for Boston to make that run. It starts tomorrow at 3 p.m., but we got to talk about this game 5 because this was a blowout, Joe, and you said it. Boston, well, there might be some sorcerers here in the building.
Dude, this might be the new curse of the Bambino, dude. I'm just telling you, these game 5s getting away from them. It might be 86 years till they win one. It's going to be a long time. I don't know what it is with their Search and Destroy, but they got to get it figured out. I mean, you got what you wanted if you are Boston Breach. You win that map number 1. You got that
stun Slasher.
I mean, you had everything under control. You were able to clutch up in that control. I mean, down 0-2. It just felt like all the momentum was riding their way, but that Mercado Hardpoint and Atlanta FaZe, they're able to, you know, play their hardpoint, their style. Into this game 5, you had to feel like they had something cooked up, but Atlanta FaZe just didn't care.
I used to look at Atlanta and think, oh, if it's respawn, this team is going to walk away with the W's. Now it feels like this may be one of the most dangerous search teams. aLLeY, when you're looking at FaZe and the future of their bracket, they don't have an easy road. They'll be playing Toronto or the LA Guerrillas. How do you feel they'll be able to match up against those squads moving forward?
I think they'll match up against both those squads incredibly well. Those are also 2 really good respawn teams, and Atlanta FaZe, their woe last year was they were actually so good at respawn, but they couldn't figure out Search and Destroy. So now they flipped, now they figured out Search and Destroy, and it's Atlanta FaZe. You give them 3 opportunities in a respawn, you gotta think maybe one goes their way, and that's what happened in this series.
What was more impressive for you, Ton, in this series? Was it the Mercado game 4 or that game 5 with the 6-0?
I think the game 5, you got to think, as I said, it comes in those tense moments, but for me, it's kind of the vetoes. Why are they playing them on Search and Destroy? Why are they playing them on Mercado Hardpoint? Questions to be asked.
All right, coaches, try and get your bands right next time, but we know something that might be consistent throughout this weekend. It's aBeZy and the team clutching up. This is our scuff play of the game. aBeZy was the one who turned it around against Boston last time. He started it in a game 3. Tonight, pulls off the 1v2, aLLeY.
I think this is one of the more tougher rounds if you're the Boston Breach. This is a situation that they should have had in the bag, but it's aBeZy that comes out on top. He gets the kill, he gets that palm plant down, and then it's just playing the angles, playing the sound cues. He wins the big one against Big Wake, and that was all the momentum Atlanta FaZe needed.
Strong finish from the young gun as he sends Owakening packing once again. A 6-0 finish puts Atlanta into winners bracket round 2, but winners round 1 continues on the other side of the break. Before we go there, quick reminder, pick up your team packs today. Support the pros, look like the pros, play like the pros. Your team packs are incredible, and you can pick them up right now. The new 2023 CDL packs with home and away styles, male and female variants, weapon camos, emblems, calling cards of your favorite squads. It's all at CallOfDutyLeague.com.
Keep going, Pug. It's been hot fire right now.
Whoa,
Man.
I had a Dunkin' Donuts, baby, and I'm about to re-up. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we got the 3rd match of the day. Can Joe Thieves get some revenge against Scrappy? We'll find out after this.